Hi guys, so I'm going to explain stoichiometry and I'm going to explain type 1 of stoichiometry. Now I want to show you guys how easy this is. It really is, like, it's so easy. And I hope you would feel the same way after I explain this. So I'm going to give you a question, and here it is. NaCl plus 2 hydrogens, hydrogen gas or whatever, SO4. This is sulfuric acid, actually. Sulfuric acid. And then H hydrogen. And then this. And then this right here. Okay, so that is the equation. Okay? The reaction. Okay? And then the question says, it says, what mass of Na2SO4, okay, so what mass in grams, what mass of Na2SO4 is produced when excess sulfuric acid reacts with 200 grams of sodium chloride? So what they're asking of you, they're asking how many grams of Na2SO4 is produced when you have 200 grams of NaCl. That's the question. Okay? So you have this, you want to figure out how many of this is created. So the first step you need to always do is you have to make sure that this equation, reaction, whatever, makes sense scientifically, because this does not make any sense. Because look, it says there is 2 NAs when in the reactant side there's only 1 Na. So where did that other Na come from? That doesn't make any sense because mass is not created nor destroyed. So the first step we always have to do is to balance the equations. You always have to do that. A very important step. So I'm going to balance it out. There is 2 NAs, so I have to put a 2 right here. That makes this to be 2, so I have to put a 2 right here. And then that also makes the hydrogen to be 2, which is balanced out already on the other side. So now this is a balanced equation. So next step is very easy, like there are other steps in this thing. So anyway, you have to convert what you're given, which is 200 grams of NaCl, to moles. Why do we have to convert it to moles? Well, the thing is, we can't get the answer from grams to grams like that, because there is no grams connection in this equation that we're given. The only connection we have between this NaCl and Na2SO4 in this equation is moles. Because what it's saying here, it's saying that for every 2 moles of NaCl, you'd get 1 mole of Na2SO4. So that's our connection right there. It's for every 2 moles of NaCl, we'd get 1 mole of Na2SO4. It's not for every 2 grams of NaCl, you would get 1 gram of Na2SO4. So the connection here is moles. Therefore, we need to convert the grams to moles in order to find out how many grams are created. So first step is the basic grams to moles. What is it called? The thing that we do anyway. So 200 grams of NaCl times 1 mole times 1 mole of NaCl, and then you write the molar mass. The molar mass for each mole of NaCl, which you use the periodic table. And yeah, I figured that out already. And the mass is 58.44 grams of NaCl. So what this means is that you're trying to find out how many moles of NaCl is 200 grams. Because right here it says that for every mole of NaCl, there is 58.44 grams. So how many moles is 200 grams? So you divide 200 grams by 58 because you multiply 200 by 1, which is 200, and then you divide it by 58.44, and that gives you how many moles are in 200 grams. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, so that is first step is grams to moles. It's very simple. Okay, that's easy now. Then we do the second step, which is like even easier. It's like so easy. Okay, but first of all, I just want to point this out to you guys, is that that this here, it's laid out in a way that we are able to cancel out some things, like the grams of NaCl. See, it's canceled out with the grams of NaCl. Okay, so the next step here that we have is the ratio, the connection that we are using. Okay, the connection we are using, like I said at the beginning, is the connection that we have in this equation, which is the moles connection, the ratio. Okay, the ratio of for every 2 NaCl, for every 2 moles of NaCl, moles, okay, every 2 moles of NaCl, you'd get 1 mole of Na2SO4. See, for every 2, you'd get 1. So this is the ratio. So how would we write it down here? So how would we use it in this multiplication thing? Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to cross out things. Like this is crossed out, and we want to cross out this, right? So if we want to cross out things, they have to be the same in the units. So which one of these would we pick to put here? Okay, because this is NaCl, moles of NaCl, and this is moles of NaCl. So we'd choose this, 2 moles of NaCl, and then we put the other one on top, which is 1 mole of Na2SO4. Sorry, I have to make it a bit small because there's a next step here. Okay, and okay, so yeah, now we can cancel out this. See? Now we can cancel it out. So why do we need to put this ratio? Like I said before, it's the connection, and yeah, so I'm going to explain it a bit more so you can understand it even better. So here we found out how many moles are in 200 grams of NaCl, right? Okay, so we need to find out how many moles does that give us. If we use 200 grams of NaCl, okay, it gives us blah blah moles of NaCl. So blah blah moles of NaCl gives us how many moles of Na2SO4. Okay, that's what we need to find out. How many moles does that give us of Na2SO4? So we find that out by using the ratio. Because for example, okay, if 200 grams of NaCl is actually 0.5 moles of NaCl, how many moles would that give us of Na2SO4? How? Well, I'll tell you how, okay? Because if the ratio is this, okay, what it's saying is that Na2SO4 is half of NaCl, because 1 is half of 2, right? So how would you find out how many Na2SO4s would you get if you have 0.5 moles of NaCl? Well, it's very simple. You just half it. So you'd get 0.25 moles of Na2SO4. So it's really easy. So there you go. So this is what we're doing right here. When we put this multiplication thing, division, what we're doing is we're finding out how many moles of Na2SO4 is created, okay, by using this ratio. Because here we find out how many moles of NaCl, and then using the ratio, we'd be able to find out how many moles of Na2SO4. So this is what we're doing right here. So the next and last final step So the last step, okay, the last step is really easy. So if we find out by doing all this how many moles of Na2SO4 is created, we would need to convert moles to grams. So now, after we putting the ratio, we put the ratio here. Okay, that's the second step. The last step is moles to, wait, why is this not writing? Moles to grams. Yeah, grams. Okay, so it's really easy. So we just put moles to grams by putting how many grams per mole are in Na2SO4. So that's what it is. How many grams per mole are in Na2SO4, because after doing this, we have the number of moles. So if we have, for example, because I don't know the actual answer, for example, if you'd get 2 moles of Na2SO4, okay, how many grams is that if wait, okay, so how are we going to put the moles and the molar mass of Na2SO4? We need to cancel out this, right? Because we've canceled out this and we've canceled out this. Now we need to cancel out this. Moles of Na2SO4. So, would we put the mole here, or would we put the grams here, or the opposite way? Well, if we're trying to cancel out this, we'd put the mole here. So, for each mole, 1 mole of Na2SO4, sorry, we'd get, by using the periodic table, we'd get 142.005 grams of Na2SO4. So what this is saying, it's saying that for each mole of NaSO4, there is 142.05 grams. So after finding out how many moles we'd get of Na2SO4, we want to find out how many grams that means. Okay, for example, if we'd have 2 moles of Na2SO4, how many grams does that mean? If 1 mole of Na2SO4 means this. So it's really simple. It's just 2 multiply by 142.05 over 1 gives you the answer. So that's what we're doing right here. It's really simple, because we'd get the number of moles after doing all this, we'd get the number of moles, and then so we need to find out how many grams are in those number of moles by putting that. So that is it that you've done. That's it. That's all the steps in a type 1 reaction. You just can balance it out, then you convert it to moles, put the ratio that's already there, and then change it to grams, and just make sure everything cancels out. Just make sure that everything cancels out except the last thing here on top. That's it. So this cancels out, and then this cancels out, and you're left with grams, because that's what you're trying to find out, right? Grams. So how would you calculate this in your calculator or whatever? Okay, you would multiply all the things on top, the numerators, whatever, the things on top, by the denominators, the things on the bottom. Okay, so you do 200 times 1 times 1 times 142.05. Okay, and then you get something. And then you divide whatever you got by 58.44 times 2. Okay, so you make sure you put these in parentheses or whatever, okay, when you divide it. And then you'd get the answer, which there is no space to write. I'll write it down here. And the answer is 243 grams, 243.07 grams of Na2SO4 is created if you use 200 grams of NaCl. So see, that's your answer right here. It's really, really, really easy. Like seriously. I'm sorry this is kind of like a mess, you know. Kind of looks ugly using this pen and stuff. But it's actually really, really easy. So, go over it again. Balance it. And then what you're given, change it to moles. Put the ratio. And then change moles to grams. Everything cancels out. Multiply, divide. You get the answer. And you're done. That's it. That is type 1. You are ready to do your chemistry quiz or whatever, your semester exam. So I hope that was really helpful, and I hope this helps you out and you understand things right now. And please let me know if it was helpful. And if it wasn't helpful, please let me know what you need help on, so I'll try to explain that better if I can. Okay? So thank you very much, and I hope this helped. Thank you.